trials I've been given.
I've been given.
Finally, with the weight of the world I've been living.
Got the weight of the world.
Hello everybody, this is my It Was Written merchandise for the film, so I'm going to take this off. It's the mask, bucket hat, hoodies we have in different colors. I'll leave a description in the a description link for the site where you can get some It Was Written items. But how's everybody doing? Just wanted to show a little bit of some of the behind the scenes of some of the footage that I do have, because there was a lot of stuff that I did not get recorded. But just starting off, for pre-production, we had to look for locations and scout locations to use for the film. So I'm going to show y'all a little bit of some of those locations that we were looking at that you'll wind up seeing in the actual film. But you can take a look at that journey right now. Y'all already got the seats spread out, I see. What you say?
Can I build on this? Can I build on it? Yeah, sure.
That's how I was thinking. And this is how I was thinking of. Oh well, hold on. Let me just do the video before. There's an outlet here, and
you could easily have the dock.
I was gonna have him kind of.
Here and be like,
And the thing is, because it's not actually a waiting room where we just need to look, I was gonna have it to where as though more so maybe. Okay, hold on. This is. Okay.
I like the floor here for the.
Yeah, this the floor looks. See. Okay.
This is a chill spot too.
Okay, so it does visually look like.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking from the
I like the
pictures.
floor.
Okay.
Let me get out of your
Oh, yeah, you cool. All right, and as you can see, while on set, we had to like improvise a lot with some stuff because this was a micro budget film. There were some things we didn't have access to, and one of those examples was, as you can see, like there was like a scene where it's supposed to be cops or sirens that's supposed to be flashing on the actor's face that you'll see in the film. And I had brought that prop, like I actually had that the siren, but the day of filming I forgot it at a completely different location. We were already behind schedule, so the director Bobby suggested, like, let's use some of the gel capsules on the lights and just like flick the light off and on and have that be the siren. So when you see that person doing it, it's supposed to look like there was like cops coming. That was like a last minute thing that the director helped with because we didn't have the actual one with us. So it was crazy. Things like that you got to do on micro budget film.
I'm rolling too. Action!
This scene was extremely funny to me because, as you can see in it, you'll see them on the ground with the blood and everything. And the director's like, "Damn, I shouldn't have let Rich rush me into it because we had something else we had to do for a setup." So the reason I was like, we got to get this scene because you'll see, as you can see, the cop car is sitting right next to us, a real life Philly cop car. That didn't have anything to do with our film. We didn't know anything about that. We did not plan that. We literally, that scene was supposed to already be happening where he gets, the character gets shot. And as that was happening, somebody really in real life got pulled over, literally right where we were filming at. So I'm like, that's God, because that's like a prop that you can have that we didn't already have. So it's like, you probably are not going to see the cop car in the actual film, but those are like real life sirens and everything, as you can see, that didn't have anything to do with us. So I'm like, while it's right here while we filming, let's get that scene done. And so that's where you hear him like, as they're doing it, like, damn, I shouldn't have let Rich rush me because we actually had something else to do after we had already put the blood and stuff on him. I'm like, we got to get this shot. So that was cool. A little insight on that.
I shouldn't have let Rich rush into me because I still got another scene to shoot it though. It's cool. It's
No,
cool.
fuck it.
It's cool.
We need this.
Right, exactly.
This is important.
Help! Scream for help!
He's screaming for
Help! Help!
Hey, close up, spit the shit, man.
All right, and so of course we did also have like a small casting call for some of the characters that was not originally cast for the film, and so I don't have footage of all of the actors, but there was a point where I was wanting some of the actors to like introduce themselves or do some auditions, and so we have one of the actors, Nyjah, introducing herself. That was supposed to be for social media, but I wound up not putting it on there, and she plays the sister to the main character, Sean's character, and so you'll see Nyjah, and then you'll also see the main character, Sean.
Hi, my name is Nyjah Rivera. I'm originally from Philadelphia. I just recently moved back to Philly from Spain, and I'm going to be playing the role of Maya, and I'm excited to meet everybody. See you soon.
I ain't trying to spit anything right now. I don't know, man. I don't think I'm ready. I hear you.
Cut! Love it.
We do also have a original theme song for the film called "It Was Written," which is also available on all major streaming platforms right now. You can get it on iTunes, Apple Music, Tidal, Google Play, Spotify, all of that. It was written because also Nas obviously has an amazing second album that was called "It Was Written." Sometimes that's the first thing that pops up. So the names on the song is Nas Alakai, Alexandria, High Def, Solo, B Miles or Brandon Miles, or Sean is the names on the actual song, and then you'll see the logo when it pops up, so you can check that out. I wrote the hook for the record, and the record was produced by DJ Nas Alakai, who plays DJ Love in the film. He actually produced the It Was Written record. So I wrote the hook, and I knew that I didn't want to sing on it because a couple of people, when I was sending the reference to the hook, was like, well, why you didn't sing the hook? I didn't want to sing on it because I'm already like writing and producing the film. I didn't want to also be like, oh, I need to be singing on it as well. And then we have some talented people in the film that already sings and does music. So of course, Sean, who plays one of the characters in the film, he sings and stuff like that. So I wanted to get someone else to sing the part. But originally, I just did a little small part. It was written, all the pain and trials I've been given, oh, fighting demons with the weight of the world I've been living, oh, it's alright, don't cry tonight, we live on beyond the sky. And that was the hook. Rashawn did a great job singing that, and then we have a bunch of different ladies singing on the hook behind his voice. So like I said, Alexandria, you have Wanji, and you have Nisha Lay. I don't think I'm missing anybody, but they all did a great job. So make sure you go check that record out. It Was Written theme song.
Like they follow procedures, I'm quarterbacking these bullets, they gon' catch them like receivers. I'm I'm not even violent, my city need change. The product of my environment, sit gilly with the game and wallow for the inspiring. I'm caught up in this tangle, trying to make it through the wiring. I found hope in love, rather that than drugs. She really be my motivation to get out the mud. Just because you got a gun, that don't make you thug. I'm not even violent, my city need change. The product of my environment, sit gilly with the game and wallow for the inspiring. I'm caught up in this tangle, trying to make it through the wiring.
Since birth feel like a dead man. That's why I'm always tense, fan. I don't trust no man. Any of y'all can play the hit man. Lights low, ride slow, test caravans. Try and play hangman or lead me to the promised land. Ride with me like Jesus on the cross. Sitting two other bars, hang with me till you die with me. Best believe you gon' rise with me. Stick around, hear the truth, lie with me, what's up? I put that on my mama, never knew my father, no blood brother. Only man that I feared was the one that birthed ya. For survival, written down like the Bible. I was like the lost sheep, that's when the Lord called me. Hello?
It was written, all the pain and trials I've been given. Fighting demons with the weight of the world I've been living. It's alright, don't cry tonight. Live on beyond the sky.
My dominant commitment, well before my... They can't help being extra, I can attest what to expect when you add effort, Know what your value is when they value you lesser. Then watch how your success change they gestures to fake and aggressive. That my courage, my persistence will give me the things that I was missing. That me staying in this position was a temporary condition. High death. It was every obstacle, pot of gold in my vision. Think I'm a leprechaun from all this luck I was given. Though I don't believe in luck, I got drive and go oriented. Make a decision, know what your gift is. Don't throw your life away, keep your sights on a brighter day. And when you tempt it, know that tab is expensive. That me staying in this position was a temporary condition. High death.
It was written, all the pain and trials I've been given.
It was written how the film came about and what it's about. So it's about a young man who witnesses the death of his best friend, and he vows to seek revenge. But in that process, he winds up finding love through the music that connected them in the first place. So this film came about initially. It's like a crazy story. I'm gonna try to make a long story long, but try to keep it short as I can. This particular story is not a script that I personally would have written from my own just creativity. What happened is I'm from Philadelphia, which is where we shoot the film at and where it takes place, and I moved to Atlanta a few years ago. So I've been in Atlanta for about close to 7 years now. But when I first moved here to Atlanta, I had met somebody, someone I used to work with also does music and things like that, and they knew that I was like into writing and stuff like that, so I would go to the studio a lot with them. And we wound up meeting some people, or he met some people that was staying at our hotel that did music, and her name was Neem, who was the manager, and she was like the manager of this artist named Ray Moon, who's a dope artist. She still has music out, so go check out and follow Ray Moon. A dope female artist, and they were going to the studio, and I went with him to their studio session. And Neem, the manager of Ray Moon at the time, she's also from Philadelphia, and so we were talking because my friend, as he introduced us, he's like, "Oh, he's from Philly too. He just came." And I had, mind you, I just moved to Atlanta, so we were talking. She's like, "Oh, what made you come down?" And I was like, "I just wanted to change the pace. I wanted something different, and I'm trying to get more into screenwriting, so I wanted to be in the city that has, is coming up more in film, and I wasn't able to really get to LA at the time." And she's like, "Oh, that's crazy. I have like somebody I mentor, a young boy of mine that's wanting to do, like, he has like a script idea, but I don't think he knows how to write screenplays or write scripts. I'm going to connect y'all." And so she connected me with this young man. His name is Zabri. And he's on the credits, you'll see that it says story by him, as well as screenplay by me and story by me. So he had initially had a small part of a story, which was about a real life about one of his close best friends that wound up getting killed. And he said they used to do music together and things like that. So that's where the basis of the script came from. So he had already had where it's like they're walking at the beginning of the film, like near the art museum in Philadelphia, and they're kind of going through lines together and rehearsing the music. And that's pretty much all he had, just like that basis of him and his friendship with his friend and them listening to music together. So I kind of took that concept, so you'll see at the start of our film, they're listening to music, they're walking, it wasn't at the art museum, but they're walking like a montage throughout in the city of Philadelphia, but he didn't have any of the rest of the story done. So I decided to write the script, but because it was also based on somebody being in the life of like in the streets, I know of the streets because I'm from Philadelphia, but I was never in the streets. So I didn't want to be inauthentic and be trying to write like a bunch of things that I don't really have, you know what I mean, that experience in. So I wanted to take the story and turn it more into like a love story or about how somebody copes with the grief of losing someone after the fact, and not just, oh, it's this and you know that. So in the film, I didn't focus too much on the fact that he was in the streets. That's kind of like the initial part of the film, and then it transitions more to how his loved ones had to cope with the loss of him afterwards, and it kind of morphs into a love story from that. So that's kind of where I got that concept from without giving up too much of the film. Obviously, check it out to see more, but that's why I wrote it from that perspective, and wound up turning it into more of a love story that also has a lot of music woven into it because that kind of came from a real place. So that's how it came about, and that was like the first time I was able to write something off someone else's kind of idea or concept that I was like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to try to get better with my writing and write something that I probably normally wouldn't have I probably just normally wouldn't have wrote this story. So even when you see the other projects I'm going to be working on after this, they're kind of completely different. I think all of them have some type of love themes in them, but they're kind of completely different than it was written. So this was a chance for me to kind of stretch my writing muscles for a different style or something that wouldn't have naturally been would have inspired me to write. So anyway, check out It Was Written.